Hello and good afternoon. I'm so excited you're here today. We're talking about a topic that's very important. We're talking about cybersecurity in your small business. I'll say it again, cybersecurity in your small business. This is so important because we live in a world that every day is becoming more tech savvy. Everything. We got apps, we got tablets, we got phones, everything. Now, cybersecurity is paramount because your data, your information on your business and your customers is now vulnerable. So, in this workshop, we'll give you tips and steps and strategies on how you can protect data for your business and your customers. Let's get started. Once again, cybersecurity in your small business. My name is Sterling McKinley. I have the honor and pleasure of serving as the DMV Grow with Google coach. And what does that mean? So I travel through the DMV and I teach classes like this, and virtually and in person, teaching small business owners how to use digital skills, how to protect companies online, and also how to use AI to streamline their business and help them create more sales and be more productive. But also, I'm a business owner just like you. So many of the tips and advice I give today, they're not something that I read online, that's on a book. These are strategies I use every day to protect the data of my business and also my customers' business. So let's get right into it. I have a few examples of some common spam messages that you may see. And let me pause real quick. So, spam is kind of the main way that hackers use to get your information. Getting you to hit a link in your email, to click a link in text messages, and then open up your computer information to cybersecurity flaws. So, you are the first line in defense, being proactive, being vigilant, making sure that you don't click on a link that's fraudulent, that can install malware or share information with other people. So let's go to some of the common um, text messages and spam messages you may see, and I'll give you tips on how to avoid becoming a cybersecurity victim. All right. So the first one that we see is very common. It says, "Wow, you were gifted $1.5 million dollars." Now, this sounds great because we all need money to live, but life doesn't work this way. So if you use email like this, that's trying to get you to be excited, that's trying to get you to act emotionally, that's offering a lot of money quickly, this is a sign that the email is fraudulent. So I will mark this as spam and not reply to it. Another one you may see is very similar to the one I showed you previously. And this person is trusting you with $10.5 million dollars. Once again, this is not how the world works. The person might say to get this money, you simply have to enter your bank account number or your social security number. Do not do this. And once again, what cyber criminals are doing, they're trying to get into your emotions because they know if you are scared or if you're excited, your level of scrutiny goes down. So don't fall for that. If email off the bat is trying to be emotional, offering a lot of money, or saying you may lose a lot of money, these are signs that the email is fraudulent. Let's go on to the next one. This one is very common, and this is primarily what you see on your cell phone. So I get these all the time. I get a message from Netflix, from UPS saying that my package is down the street, even though I have not ordered the package, or I need to reset my account password from my bank. This is called phishing. This is where a cyber criminal is pretending to be a legitimate brand and they are getting you to click on the link. So think before you click. Do you really have to change your password to your bank? Do you really have a package coming? And you're not sure? I will log into your bank directly, log into your streaming service directly and find out that way. But don't click on these links because they could be fraudulent. And it's very hard to do once again because what spammers are doing is they know if they pretend to be a legitimate brand that you will drop your defense and click on this link, but don't do it. And the next one we have is a ransom. So this person is saying they have pictures of you, they have videos, they have private information. If you don't send them money like Bitcoin or some other payment, they would release your information. Now, 99.9% of the time, this is false. They don't have information on you, but once again, they're trying to get you to be emotional and send money to them, but don't fall for this scam. This workshop will cover various topics. First, we'll talk about why cybersecurity matters for every business. And this is so important, whether you're a big company or small company. Your cybersecurity is valuable and hackers want it. Next, we'll talk about how to protect your business online and what to do if you're attacked, because trust me, you will be attacked. So we'll help you develop a plan of action so when you are attacked or a victim of cyber crime, that you know what to do. And to end it out, I'll give you some resources and tips on how you can learn more to protect yourself online. Cybersecurity matters for every business. I can't say it's enough. Something has happened as business owners. We think because we're a small business, maybe you're a one-man show, a two-man show, or a two-woman show, that you're not valuable, but you are. Cybersecurity, cyber criminals don't care if you're two people, if you're 100 people, you're still valuable to them. So don't fall into the belief thinking that you're too small to be attacked. Cyber criminals do not care how small you are. They're trying to attack your business and get information from you. I have a few stats I want to share with you. The first one is 65% of small business lenders say that data security and customer privacy are concerns. 65%. Now, that sounds high, but it's not. It should be 100%. And this shows us that there's vulnerability there, that every business owner is not protecting their data, cybersecurity, and it should be. So don't be one of the people. Make cybersecurity a priority for you and also for your business. The next one, 85% of small business leaders say that having a cybersecurity plan in place will make them feel more comfortable with using digital tools for their business over the next 2 years. 85%. And I think it goes back to kind of that other old saying, the more you know, the better. So having a plan is going to make you feel more comfortable using these digital tools. So having a plan not only can help you feel more comfortable, but give you a plan of action. So when you are attacked, money is time. You know what to do exactly to protect your data and information. Once again, if any questions or comments, just type those in the chat box, and I'm sure to pause to answer those questions. Moving on to how to protect yourself online. I gotta say this. You think that only your business information is important. No, but if you're like me, you have your company email and your business email on the same device. So starting good cybersecurity practices starts with your personal information. Why? Because many times they're commingled. If somebody gets into your personal information, they more likely get into your business information. So keep in mind that you have to adopt cybersecurity principles and steps through your whole life, not only your business, but also your personal life as well. Are you vulnerable to cyber attacks? This is our cyber house. And think about a house. You have doors and windows. They are gateways where somebody can gain access to your house. And that's how you have to think about cybersecurity. Hackers and spammers, they're gonna try to get in your house either way. So close your doors. Close the doors. Make sure they're closed. So to do that, make sure your website is not out of date. Your phone, your laptop, update the software. Why? Because that's patching a cybersecurity flaw that will make it more secure. These are habits you can take to make sure your house is secure, because hackers are not going to stop at one door or one window. They're going to try every point possible to get your information. So make sure you're protecting your cybersecurity and protecting your information. The first step, once again, I'll say this, is you are the first step of protection. Protecting your passwords and identity are key. So having a password easy to guess, having a password the same for all your accounts is not good. The first step in protecting your information is making sure you have good passwords. And in this section, I'm going to give you more information on how to do that. You want to create strong passwords. And what does that mean? So first, make your password difficult to guess. It shouldn't be 123. It shouldn't be password. Make it hard to guess. Next, keep your passwords safe and don't share them. And the last one that can be kind of hard, but make sure you use a different password for every account. So your account for your bank, social media, for your Gmail, it shouldn't be the same account password. Why? Because if somebody gets access to one account, now they will try the same account, that same password on different accounts and get in. So having different accounts is going to increase your level of protection. Now you're probably asking, how can I do this? If you're like me, living to the age, I have hundreds. Last count, I had about 400 login and passwords. It's impossible to keep that information in your head and remember it. So how can you do that? I'm glad you asked. You can do that by using something that I like to use called a password manager. Password managers help you create strong, unique passwords for all your accounts. One that I use and I love that's free is called Google Password Manager. You may have heard of it. It helps you create strong passwords, save them, and also it helps you to autofill those passwords. To find out more about this, visit passwords.google.com. This is amazing. Once again, you can go to a website, you can go to social media, your bank account, and Google Password Manager will recognize that you're on that login page, and it'll fill in your password and your login for you. All you have to do is click login. But this is great because it's a way to safely have all your passwords in one place and allow you to create different passwords for every account. Why? Because this system that's secure is listing all those passwords. Another way to boost your cybersecurity is by having two-step verification. And you may have seen this on all your accounts, whether it's Google products or other tools. And I want to explain what it is. So it helps protect an account with something known like a password or a physical device. And we all see that. You log into your account, your Gmail account, and before you log in, it sends a code to your phone. You then take that code or password, put it into Gmail, and now you're logged in. This is great because it adds a second layer of verification and a second layer of security. So let's say somebody does have your password. They probably don't have your laptop. They probably don't have your cell phone. This will ensure that your account is safe. So in all your accounts, whether that's Google, Gmail, any accounts, normally in your security settings, there is a option to turn on two-step verification. Make sure that you turn that on because it is an added layer of security for your account. Once again, let me pause. I feel like I'm talking a lot here. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop those below in the chat box, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. Moving on to the next topic, protecting your equipment, apps, and your data. So, protecting your digital information is important, but also protecting your physical devices. So, let's talk more about that. So, here's some tips you can do to keep your computer safe. So, the first one, we've all been there. You're at a cafe, getting a latte, and you're taking time, you're relaxing, and you order your coffee, you go back to your seat, and they call your name up, and you go to the counter, you get your coffee, but you left your laptop, your tablet at your seat. Don't do that. Do not leave your devices unattended. It sounds simple, but it's very important. So make sure you don't leave your computer or your device out of sight. Also, use a lock screen or password. And also make sure that you only give people access to services or apps they need. For example, your graphic designer does not need the login and password to your accounting software and vice versa. So make sure that you're giving people access only to what they need to do their jobs. Also, do not trust unknown USB devices. And this one is very simple. If you see one on the table in public, don't put it in your computer because you don't know what's on there. It may steal your information. So take these tips in mind to protect your computer and your physical devices. Moving on to keeping your mobile device safe. Require employees to use encrypted devices. That means the devices are encrypted, the information is scrambled, it's harder to hack. Also, require a PIN or lock devices. And my favorite one is allow remote data wiping. So if you do lose your phone, for example, I can lose my Pixel device, my Pixel phone, and I can log into my desktop at my house and say, okay, I lost my phone. I don't want my information to be stolen. I click a button and they can remotely, it can erase all the data on that device. That is awesome because that's giving you an added level of security to your device. A few extra tips. I said this earlier, but keep software up to date. Don't ignore that warning that says your software is out of date, that your password is out of date. Update that as soon as possible. Also, you want to avoid software that doesn't have security options and establish policies for limiting data stored on company and personal devices. So if you have the budget, have people have their personal device, but give them a separate business device, separate business phone or laptop. Why? Because that way you're keeping their personal and company data separate. Once again, give you more security. Going back to what I said, if you keep your personal and your business information separate, if someone does get into your personal account, then there's no way to get into your business account. But having separate devices will allow you to do that. And if you're using Google Workspace, I want you to know that it's secure by design. So all the apps they run in the cloud and it added protection for your business and also your employees. To find out more about that, visit workspace.google.com/security. Protect your customers online. At this point, we talked a lot about how to protect your data and your information, but the next step is protecting your customers' data. So, in many ways, protecting your data is protecting your customer data because the last thing you want to do is have your customer emails or passwords or credit card information out there to criminals. So, the first step, protecting your information, not letting those cyber criminals in to get to your customers' information. One way you can do that is by having a secure website. You probably logged into the website and you've seen this lock in the browser. This is called HTTPS, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. This is now level encryption. So if you're entering an email, if you're entering credit card information on a website, it will be secure. So once again, have a website, make sure that you have HTTPS installed and enabled. Also, if you're using Google Sites, security once again is included by default. All these sites come with HTTPS installed once again, and users can share information and ownership like using Google Doc. To find out more about this, visit google.com/sites. Protect your email. Email is one of the main channels that hackers try to gain access to your business information. They love email. Why? Because it's a gateway. It's something that's trusted, but you have to take steps to make sure that it's secure and safe. So the first one is use the email that supports encryption. I personally use Gmail. Gmail has a lot of security features once again, but encryption is a layer of security, making sure that my information is secure. Also, use a email provider that uses TLS, which is known as Transport Layer Security. And also, we talked about earlier, enable two-step verification. So if somebody does have the password to your email, they can't log in without getting a password or code that's been sent to your mobile device. Give me more information on how to protect your business via email. So the first one is you have to be careful when clicking on any email attachments, downloading files, or visiting a new website. And why? Because all these ways was a file, a website, a link, they could install information on your computer or on your phone that steals information, or you click on a link and it goes to a fraudulent website. So make sure that you don't click on unknown emails that have attachments, have websites, or have PDFs, because you could be unknowingly downloading a virus to your computer or your mobile device. Also, don't click on unsolicited emails. If it's comes to mind you never heard of, be very cautious about clicking on the email. Also, look out for suspicious email addresses and email signatures. We've all seen those. They just don't make sense. Their names don't match. They just are spelled wrong. These are all signs that it is a fraudulent email. Also, I want you to beware of phishing scams. And phishing scams is simply when someone is using a brand, a legitimate brand, to fool you into clicking on an email. So once again, they want you to trust them. So they know that you know and trust Ace Hardware. So they use the same color scheme, same logo, everything to get you to click on this link. But it's not the real company. It will lead you to a site or a download that's fraudulent. So be wary of that. Just because it's a brand name, don't say, okay, and this is coming from Netflix, this is coming from Ace. Let me just click on it and go. Make sure it's really coming from the company that it says it is. How to spot spam? I'll give you a few tips. So we said this in our first examples, but if the email starts off with a threat or unplanned expense, urgency, or promise you a lot of money, it's probably fraudulent. They're trying to get you to be emotional. Next, if it has no sender, no profile picture, or it has poorly written copy, I mean, the text made no sense. There are spelling errors and mistakes, or if there's attachment to download. I've done this before. I got an email from a client that looks legit. I downloaded a PDF that's supposed to be invoice, and before I know it, it sent me to some random website. So be where you have to scrutinize every email to make sure that it is legit. Can you spot the fake one? Now, I know you probably can't because these images are very small, but at first glance, they look very similar, but they are different. One's fake and one is real. And this is what cyber criminals are banking on, that you fall for the fake one. So let me give you some tips on how you can spot a fake email or login. So this is the fake one. First one, the URL isn't right. So it's something crazy. It's https slash accounts.google.com dash https dash comma dot com dot tn. Crazy. So that URL makes no sense. Next, there's no sender. There's no profile picture. So these are all signs that it's coming from a fake person. So I know it's tough, but scrutinize every email that you get to make sure that it is a valid email. And if you're like me, I use Gmail. Gmail blocks 99.9% of spam phishing tips and malware from reaching you. Ever look into your spam folder in Gmail? You can see Gmail does a lot, a lot of work. Make sure that you don't even see a lot of those spam messages. So one way you can assist Gmail is if you do get spam message, mark it as spam. So it now knows to mark it spam. In the future, you don't get it. But every day, Gmail spam filters block nearly 10 million spam emails per minute. That's a lot. 10 million spam emails per minute. To find out more about this, simply visit google.com/Gmail. Bottom line, think before you click. Life is busy, life is crazy, we're moving fast, we're doing 10 things at once. You're driving and your kids in the back screaming or crying. I know life is tough, but take that second to review the email, review that text, and make sure it's not fraudulent. Why? Because that split second, it can cost you money. It can. It costs you your data security. So make sure you take time to review every message to make sure it's not fraudulent. And saying that, you want to plan ahead because having a plan is going to give you comfort and you won't be on Google Googling what to do when I've been hacked because you have a plan of attack already in place. Having a plan ready, that includes a few things. First, outlining who's in charge of what and what needs to be done. So when it comes to cybersecurity, time is money. You need to know what to do right away and not wait around. And take quick action. Time is money. Once the cyber criminal has your information, they're going to try every account possible. So take quick action. That could be changing your passwords. That could be calling your bank. That could be putting a freeze on your credit report. That could be logging in and changing your password. These are things that you have to have in place because when it happens, you want to not be scrambling and panicking, but know exactly what to do. You can also create a list of tech assets. So, what platforms are you on? What social media accounts? What streaming services are you on? Think about, are they up to date? If you're using a website or other software, it's up to date, it's secure. And make a list of what accounts you have because we live in a time now, especially when you can just lose track what you have and think about your hardware. Do you have computers? Do you have mobile devices you don't use? Destroy those, wipe those. But the way to do that is to make a list of that. And if you want help doing this using Google Password Manager, it helps you make a list of your accounts so you can have a better idea of what you need to change and do. But make a list of what you have because if you don't have a list, you don't have a baseline. It's like weight loss, anything. You don't know where to start. So make a list of what you have and what you need to protect. You also want to have clear policies and training in place. You can establish an internal website. It could be a one page, two-page website that talks about what to do when you're hacked. And it could review cybersecurity tips as well. And also in your company, wherever you're one man show or you have 100 employees, have a person that is the dedicated specialist that knows what to do. Many times, the bigger company, the HR person does this work, or the person that's involved with networking or cyber. But have somebody in place that can take quick action when a threat is discovered. You also want to create a security culture. And that means a place not only in your business but also in your personal life where you're talking about cybersecurity. And I really want to drive this home is that nobody is talking about cybersecurity right now. We're talking about AI. We're talking about the latest computer, the latest phone, and that's great. These are all very exciting things. cybersecurity is not exciting. Let's face it. Who wants to talk about cybersecurity? But it's needed. And as we live in this society that's becoming more and more digital every day, the one conversation that's not being had is how to protect all that data and all that information. So keep that in mind, that you have to create this culture where you're constantly talking about what's going on, about what kind of scams are happening, what to look out for, and how you can reinforce good cybersecurity habits. Because once again, you are the first line of defense when it comes to protecting your information. So encourage your employees to talk about this regularly. Encourage them to share their concerns. And you want to make it so if they do have a question, they don't hide it. They don't wait, because time is money. If they think that they made a mistake, if they clicked the email, if they did something, they need to feel empowered to immediately alert you, to help you, to allow you to rectify the situation. Um, and think about this: ensure that you're the leader of your household, your family, your job, that you are modeling good cybersecurity habits, because it starts at the top. So people are watching you. Make sure you follow the cybersecurity test, because things roll downhill and you have a lot of say in what people do. Moving on, what to do if you're attacked. And I got bad news. You're probably going to be attacked on some level. So having a plan of action on what to do when you're attacked is important, because it is going to happen. Let's face it. But in this section, I want to give you a plan of attack to do if you're attacked. I didn't mean to rhyme, but what can you do if you're attacked? So the first one you want to do is protect your banking and credit card information. Contact your bank, contact your credit union, credit card companies, and all other financial institutions. Let them know that you've been attacked. They can put a hold in your account or fraud alerts or so on. Next, you want to check your credit report and make sure that no lines of credit or accounts are open. And also dispute any charge that you see in your account. Any charge. I don't care if it's 1 cent. Your money is important. And if somebody's stealing 1 cent today, it could be $100 tomorrow. So, regardless of the dollar amount, scrutinize every single purchase that's being made that you did not authorize. Once again, every purchase, regardless of the dollar amount, if you don't recognize it, scrutinize and escalate that charge. Also, consider placing a freeze on alert on your credit report as well, so no new lines of credit can be opened. You can also file reports with your local police. Also, the FBI has reporting information. The Internet Crimes Compliance Center, also known as IC3. IC3 is a central hub for reporting crime. To find out more about that, simply visit www.ic3.gov. Some more ways you can support fraud as well. You can report frauds and scams and also bad business practices to the FTC. Simply go to reportfraud.ftc.gov. Also, you can report identity theft at idtheft.gov. So, next steps. We talked about a lot of things today. The number one thing you can do, change your password. If it's been years, if it's been 6 months, change your password. Use a password manager. That is the first line of defense. Next is, if you are a victim of cybersecurity and you've been hacked in any way, look out professional help. Somebody can get that virus or software off your device. And also, after you have been a victim, continue to monitor your credit report for months out to make sure nothing pops up as well. I'm gonna give you a few tips. Let's recap what we said. So the first one is use strong passwords. I can't say that enough. Strong passwords. Use a password manager like Google Password Manager to help you create passwords that are safe, secure, and unique. Next thing on all your accounts, Gmail included, make sure you enable two-step verification. That's going to send a code to a device like your cell phone to make sure the person logging in is you. They may have your password, but they probably don't have your phone as well. Make sure you keep all equipment safe and include more devices. Don't leave them out of your site. On your website, remember to use HTTPS and to make sure it's secure. The same for email. Use email that supports encryption as well. And also make a plan and create a list of your tech assets. And finally, develop and nurture a security culture. You should be always talking about cybersecurity. Why? Because it matters. And the more you talk about it, the more you remember to take these steps into action. So, to find out more safety tips from Google, you can visit Google Safety Center for tools and tips to help you stay safe online. They also have a security checkup that provides recommendations to strengthen the security of your Google account. To find out more, visit safety.google. Also, you can keep learning by visiting our channel on YouTube. Our channel is updated regularly with new videos and information on how to grow your business, your career, talking about cybersecurity, cybersecurity, AI, other topics. Simply visit youtube.com/grow with Google. Once again, youtube.com/grow with Google. Also, we offer Google career certificates. You can get qualified for in-demand jobs in high growth fields, ranging from e-commerce, digital marketing, IT, project manager, and also cybersecurity. To find out more and get started, simply visit grow.google/certificates. Also, we offer free training at google.com/grow for teachers, for business owners, for job seekers, or developers. Visit this site to find out more ways to help you grow and learn more. And saying that, I want to thank you for your time. So I give you roughly hour of my time today. I hope I gave you some tips and advice that can help you protect the data of your business and also your customers. So do me a favor. I want you to pull out your cell phone and I want you to scan this QR code on the screen, or you can visit g.co/grow/feedback and leave feedback on this webinar, on this workshop, and let us know what you got from it, how it can help you, and what can be improved. So, once again, saying that, thank you for your time, and I'll see you again. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye.